Alright, hello everyone. Here's another like Source 2 filmmaker type tutorial, and this one's a very simple one. It's just like how to download Source 2 filmmaker models off of the Half-Life Alyx workshop and to be able to use them in s2fm, because people seem to be having trouble with that. Um, People were like, they run into this one problem and kind of solved if you pay like really close attention to like the instructions that people like me have. Like, here's the installation instructions and whatever, and I'll get to that. Um, but maybe people maybe it makes more sense to them for me to do it in a video form. So, okay, here we go. Also, look, all my workshop ports are on front page. All right. So let's use this add-on that I made as an example. This Hydra remake model. Okay, so for most things on the Half-Life Alyx workshop, for you to use them, you just subscribe to it, and then you can just enable it in-game. Well, for Source 2 Filmmaker add-ons, it's not quite that simple. You do need to subscribe to it, but there's a little bit more to that. Okay, so what you're going to need to install it is GCFscape, which you can get off of Game Banana or the NEMS Tools website, I think. So I'm going to open that, GCFscape. So now I got GCFscape, press open, and then I go to the Steam library folder that Half-Life Alyx is downloaded to. But instead of going to the game files, you back up to Steam Apps, and then Workshop, Content, and then Half-Life Alyx's content ID is 546560. So you just click on that. And then it'll give you a bunch of these depending on how many add-ons you're subscribed to. So to figure out which one is which, you just go here and click the share icon. And then it'll say right here, this ID, 34670217778. And so 36778, okay, this should be the one. So if we look in here, yep, Half-Life 2 Beta Hydra Remake. And then here's the whole add-on as it is. Okay. So, now what we want to do is open the Half-Life Alyx folder in Steam. So, sorry, that's off the screen. But, oh, wrong one. Let's try that again. Okay. So in my case, Siege Drive, Program Files 86, Steam, Steam Apps, Common, Half-Life Alyx. Okay, this is the part that people get really confused at. I swear this is like 90% of the problems that people run into when they're downloading these add-ons, okay? So a lot of people don't know which folder to put this into. What you want to put this into is not the content folder, because what you're dragging and dropping from what's open here in GCFscape is our content, or no, they're not content files, they're game files, they're compiled. Content files are like if you have the access to the textures and you can just edit them right out the gate. To make them into content files, you need to use like Source 2 Viewer to decompile them or something like that. But if you're just downloading them, go to your game folder, Half-Life Alyx game, and then HLVR add-ons. Pick whichever add-on like you download stuff to. So in my case, this is my main Source 2 Filmmaker add-on. Okay, and so this is where you start dragging and dropping stuff. So I can just drag and drop the whole models folder in here, and then it'll place it in this folder where it's supposed to go, and that should be all you have to do before launching it. And in my case, it'll say like materials here, but none of these are actually used. Don't drag these in if they're not. Don't drag anything in the materials folder in if it's not replaced. Sometimes it can cause problems with like your post-processing looking whack, and I had to like move all my stuff to a new add-on folder. That's why it's s2fm new instead of just s2fm. Anyways, so let's say now that it's in there, I already have it in there, so that's why I'm not doing it again. You're gonna open Half-Life Alyx. Alright, so once it's finished, I'm gonna set it to this. Okay, your model should appear like this, but in your case, if you don't have it decompiled, it's gonna have this sort of lock icon on it, like this asset without content. If it does, that means you did it right. And also, if you see all the textures here and the models look good, then you ported it right. If you didn't port it right, like putting it in the content folder, it's going to look like you forgot to install Counter-Strike Source. So then you can just open Source Filmmaker. I'm just going to create like a throwaway session. Hit this plus sign, create animation set for new model, look up Hydra. If you can't find the model for whatever reason, usually on the workshop items themselves, like what I did is that I put like includes and then it shows all the models here that I use. So if you're having trouble remembering what the name is of these models, that's how you can find like what there are. So now we have the Hydra in there and we can pose it, do all the cool things with it. Little wacky Hydra here. Well, one of them anyway. So that should be it on how to download workshop items. I hope this makes it so I don't have to see people's missing textures anymore in my Discord server.